Hi guys. We're a little late going live, just getting everything set up and getting ready. This week we're going to be doing dinosaurs, so that's kind of exciting. Welcome to Sam I Art and Draw With Me Kids Edition. Where's Miss Rainbows?
I'm right here!
I knew she was going to do that. She scared me. Welcome to the Pandemonium with Miss Rainbows. She got a brand new t-shirt from her great uncle who knows how much she loves a good pun. So I am going to start off the day.
I have some new buddies today.
You have some new buddies. Why don't you introduce the new buddies then?
This is Bamboo Leaf.
I think everybody's met Bamboo Leaf.
And this is Wulong.
Oolong. Got that in McDonald's yesterday, didn't you?
Ooh.
Well, welcome everybody. As you remember, last week we did a free-for-all art jam. We sort of did whatever you wanted to do with the goal of you can create something for yourself or you could create something for your dad and ask me questions along the way. So here we got, hello, speaking of,
Hello.
we have this really cool character. Is it Dino or Dino? Dino? I love the use of bone work on this one. Another really cool character. I just posted it up on the album here, so that's pretty cool. This is my dad. You guys helped me decide whether it was going to be Star Trek Next Generation or Star Trek the original series, and he loved it, by the way.
So much that in Messenger Kids he switched his old picture out for that one.
It's his profile pic now. And this is a cool dragon riding
Dino.
Dino. Okay, thank you very much, Emily. Dino was the character that we saw earlier. This is Cassidy riding on a dragon with her dad. I think that's awesome. I hope that your dad loved it because it's really cool. And this is the one Sophia gave her dad, Ace Hart, playing Sky Wars on Minecraft Hive. And you guys helped her with some of the ores that she chose to pick.
I had an extra ore right down there at the bottom.
The emerald ore down at the bottom, I think.
Yeah.
And he is victorious over Junie June in a game of Sky Wars, which I think is really cute and really funny. So today, we're going to do dinosaurs. And you guys asked for a T-Rex.
I'm going to put it on split screen.
I will. I'm just struggling with getting it full onto the screen. There we go. You can see Sophia's screen. You can see me. And we're gonna do dinosaurs today, and I'm sort of prepared my page so I can do all three dinosaurs. So we said we're going to do T-Rex, Triceratops, and Raptor. And I think there was a request for an Enoraptor or Enoraptor. And I'm going to be honest, I couldn't find that particular raptor. So as we're going along, I believe it was Cassidy who requested that. You can help describe what you're looking for, and we can add that to our raptor.
I was playing a game in a virtual trip in my homework called Ice Cream Frenzy, and look at the ridiculous high score that I got.
She had a lot of fun with that. So
if you guys can't read it, it says, these are the numbers. 216691. That's
how many zeros are after the 2? So if you count
5.
in places, 5. So that would be 216,000.
216,691.
In case anyone wanted to know what the number was. Okay, so let's start our day off with T-Rex. What do you think?
Yep. I want to do a Triceratops.
We are definitely doing a Triceratops, and we will do the Raptor. The the T-Rex and the Raptor are very similar, and
I have an actual fact about it. It's not the trivia part, but I do have some trivia.
So guys, this is what we're going to be doing today for the T-Rex. Hello, Jenny. How are you guys doing? And then I'll put that guy up there. So what we're going to start off with for the Tyrannosaurus, which of the three
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
The Tyrannosaurus Rex is the biggest of the dinos. So we're going to start off, I'm going to put him over here.
Mommy, I want to do a scene. I don't need 2 pages. I want to do a scene of it.
Okay.
I want to do one thing.
This is going to be the last week of drawing. No, it's not really going to be the last week of drawing. I'll get that out of the way right now so you guys know. We're going to take a break next week for Canada Day. So we can have a little bit of a break or a day or a week off.
Then we'll be right back.
And then we'll be back on July 8th. Which I'm trying to look at my calendar, which is hidden. Which is okay. We'll be back the next Wednesday. And we'll keep going. Because we have a lot of fun doing this every week. So as long as we got ideas, we're going to keep going. We're just going to take a break next week. So everybody, if you've got backyard celebrations or activities that you're going to do with your families and friends or whatever is going on in this social distancing semblance of Canada Day, you can have a chance to do that and not worry about whether you're going to miss a lesson or not. So now that I got that out of the way, let's start with the T-Rex. First,
I came to draw.
You came to draw. First off, we're going to start with a rectangle. And when you're making this rectangle, round off the corners a little bit. And that's the head of your T-Rex. I totally mispositioned my guy here, so because I'm on the magic of the computer, I can change that a little bit. Yes, that is my brush. Thank you, Photoshop. Photoshop, keeping me in check. And I think once we get the Tyrannosaurus Rex down, Sophia can start trivia, because I'm sure you guys are excited for trivia this week, too. How much you guys know about dinosaurs is probably more than I. Next, we're starting to pick a spot that's not super far away. So almost if you turn the head of your dinosaur, it's about that much space between the circle and the head, and you draw a circle, which mine's a little sloppy, but that's okay. That's what an eraser is for. You draw a circle.
Mine looks like he's a baby. He's tiny.
That's okay. You can have a bunch of baby dinosaurs together.
I think that this circle is going to be part of his leg.
Okay. So this is going to be a really basic shape, and then you guys can take this shape and add bumps and horns and whatever teeth, big teeth, little teeth, whatever you want to do for this dinosaur. I'll show you how to get there first. So the back of the dinosaur is just right near the back of that corner. Bring down a line to attach the top of that circle. You can make it curvy. That's the back of the dinosaur. Ta-da! And then we're going to do the belly of the dinosaur. So pick a halfway point on, so this is the neck, halfway on that rectangle. Start there and go a little wider as you go to the belly, or to the bottom of that circle. This guy's going to be a little bit skinnier than my picture.
He's definitely, but he's definitely a baby because he's got a tiny belly.
There. So there's his belly. And see, you can make adjustments as you go along, too. That's the beauty of being an artist. I didn't leave any room for this dude's tail. Well, guess what? Magic of computers. I'm going to bump him over a little bit. I did probably the biggest rookie mistake of an artist that's been working as long as I am. I didn't measure what I was going to do for my page. I just went ahead and drew. And that's okay, too. You learn as you go. Oops. So once we get these lines here done, you're going to take on the other side of that circle and draw a curve, like a U shape, but not.
I want to make my tail have a little heart.
Okay, you can put a little heart on your tail. And you close that tail, just sort of dipping off the side, and then make a point. And if you want to add a little heart on that tail, like Sophia does, you can do that.
Like he's curving his tail into a little heart.
Now, hopefully I'm not ruining your facts or your trivia, but T-Rexes need their tail to balance.
That's not anything.
Okay. It's important for a T-Rex to have it. So now you're going to erase right here at the back of the head. You're going to leave part of that line to indicate the chin, where it overlaps the neck.
Where's my eraser? Where did I put my eraser?
Oh, I've got one over there.
But I don't see it.
Here's a pencil that has an eraser.
Thank you.
This is magic wand. You take an eraser on the top of this circle. So again, you have a line that suggests the overlap of the leg there, and erase around there so you can see where the tail attaches. And this is starting to look a little bit like a T-Rex right now, right guys? So what do we do after that? Well, T-Rexes have very famous tri-sticky arms. So these poor little guys, they didn't use these arms much for hunting or gathering. They have tiny little arms. So what I do is I take a rectangle shape and attach, like an L, a triangle to the bottom of it. And then I put a little triangle next to it there to indicate the other arm. So you can sort of see him like this from the side.
This guy has extra tiny arms because he's a baby.
Yeah, you can go even tinier if you want, because this is a T-Rex. They have super tiny arms. For such a scary guy, his arms are super tiny. And then you want to take a semicircle.
Hold on, I'm just connecting my
to
arm.
extend this leg a little bit, like that. So it's just a semicircle on the end of that
Like
big...
the dragon.
Like the dragon. Very good remembering. And another semicircle hidden by that first one to show the other leg on the other side.
Hold on.
So it's sort of like the letter B you just drew there. And then you do a similar shape to the arms, coming out the bottom of that semicircle. A rectangle, and this time a triangle that opens so the flat part's on the bottom and the point is closer to the rectangle. So there's the point, closer to the rectangle, and you're making that triangle base. And that is the guideline for your dinosaur foot.
Then
And you're going to see it a lot, actually, as we do the raptor. You could do the other one too. So oops, that one. Perspective-wise, for my older artists, whenever you're drawing something, you see a profile or a three-quarter view, the front leg is always further down the page than the back leg, just to give it the right perspective. So this one should end right about there, so it looks like
my guy is walking.
Your guy is walking? I think my guy's just going to be...
My guy's walking, so he has his foot up.
Oh, that's cool. Mine's sort of trying to balance. Maybe he's lifting his foot. I don't know.
What I did was I made a diamond shape coming out of the edge of the hidden one, and then I erase. Then I make my line to the middle, and through the middle, so I have kind of like a plus in it.
Yeah.
And then I erased the. Here, I'll color this little part in gently so you guys can see it. The part that's colored in is the part that I erased of my diamond.
Oh, cool. That's a good way to do
Did
it.
you see it? I made my diamond.
Mine almost looks like he's doing a bit of the pee-pee dance, if I can say that on camera. He's sort of like, oh, his legs are a little close together. That's okay. I'm going to go with it. Or maybe he's shy and excited about playing with the other dinosaurs. I don't know. So what I did was I just erased some of the lines on this guy's leg, so it all looks like one big leg. And I erased the lines where the hands are overlapping a little bit.
I erased them already when I made mine.
Well, that's okay. If you did that step ahead, that's great. Now, this is where you get to do some of your details. This is where, I call this the structure for the foot. You can start to add a triangle like pattern for getting some claws. If you're really into wanting to get more stylized on it, you can erase the tip a little bit and make curved clawed feet like that as well. And then you
my
can
little
sort of...
dude is going to have tiny little lines. Because he's
That
a
makes
baby.
it look like he's lifting his foot.
For mine,
mine looks like you're seeing him from the side. So what I did was I only put 1.5 lines instead of just 3 lines. Of just all the 3 lines.
Yep.
Because that's how you'd see it.
That's very good thinking. That's very good thinking, it crew. Now, with this guy, it's just like a lot of the animals we've been learning to do. Their legs don't operate like our legs. Their leg bends, so like this is sort of what a knee or a knee bend would be like on the back. That little element there is sort of like a knee bend. So you can do that on this side too, and since I did it that way, let's curved with a few triangles to make some curved lines. He really does look like he's doing a little excited dance here. That's okay. And you find out right
Like he's
with
a
the T-Rex, their head is basically 2/3 and then 1/3 for the mouth. Or you can go even smaller a little bit. The mouth sort of starts right about there, and then you can decide, is this a T-Rex who has his mouth closed? If it is, you do this. And you can make the line, and you can make some jagged lines to see the teeth peeking through, because you'd always see
He's just a baby,
the
so
teeth.
he doesn't have too many teeth.
Or if you want to have this guy roaring because he's excited, you can take that line, mimic where it's going, and turn it into... You can make it bigger if he's roaring bigger. You can make it smaller. It's just to make that jaw open just a little bit. You just sort of mimic that line, same size, and I'm going to make this guy, his teeth are like this. And he's a little shy because he's got so many teeth and maybe the other dinosaurs are afraid he's going to eat them. For their claws, I do little triangles on the end of these, and I erase the hands, the line between the hands and the claws. And the T-Rex has an eye ridge, and you can put that eye ridge either in the rectangle like I've got with a semicircle,
He doesn't have his claws on it yet.
or you can sort of make it overlap a bit, that top, if you really want to give it a good or a different interesting profile. That's just how you want to do your dinosaur, make it look. And you put your eye, boop. This guy's super happy because guess what? You guys already know this by now. I like happy dinos. I like happy creatures in my pictures, but you can do your creatures any way you want. And now you can start adding some little details, like this guy's got, usually T-Rexes have a little nose ridge, goes along, and then they have a little teardrop-like nose, like we did for the dragon. And a lot of people draw dragons inspired by dinosaurs, real life fossils and whatnot. In fact, a lot of the dinosaur fossils that were being discovered very early on were thought to be dragons. And there's a belief that a lot of the dragon myths may have come from someone coming across these creatures. Kind of cool. I hope I didn't ruin another trivia.
Nope.
Maybe I helped with the trivia. I'm going to make them just a little bit smaller so I have room for his friends. So the cool part about doing a raptor is the structure is very similar for a T-Rex, but you would start off with the head as a triangle.
I want to do my
We'll do
Trivias.
Triceratops.
I want to do trivia.
Oh, okay, start your trivia. We've got some trivia. Does everybody have their thinking caps on? And I'll start with the triangle shape of a raptor head. And the cool thing about raptors, I'm going to say before, and hopefully this doesn't give any trivia away, raptors are some of the closest looking, dinosaurs closest looking to birds. And many of the raptor lines, they suspect.
That was gonna be.
I'm not going to say anything more. Keep that in mind for trivia.
That was,
no, I gave some trivia away.
that was gonna be one, but it's not.
Oh, it's not. So, and raptors are smaller than
That's
most
very
dinosaurs.
close to one of my facts.
So I'm going to start with my
Were
raptor shape.
dinos the first reptiles on Earth? A, yes. B, there were a few before. Or C, there were a lot before.
So So I'm just following the same structure. Were they the first reptiles on Earth? Well, that's okay. Maybe it already is a raptor. I had that problem when I was trying to draw the sheep. My first T-Rex that I did for practice ended up looking very much like a raptor. They are very close in structure, and oddly enough, I don't believe they are related at all species-wise, other than being both dinosaurs. Raptors
like
usually
my head
have
shape.
a longer tail. By the
I
way.
haven't started though, Mommy.
That's okay. Why don't you start? They're more or less the same instructions, and if you want to flip your character, Sophia's doing that actually on her page. She's made the triangle go the other way, and she's sort of done it this way and this way. So that's the way you can do it. We have B and A.
Yes, we have.
I don't know. She
before.
hasn't asked me these questions yet, so I can play too today. Were they the first lizards on Earth? No.
Reptiles.
Reptiles. Reptiles. No.
Were there
I'm
a
gonna
few
say no.
before them or a lot before them? No's not an answer. Is there?
Oh,
Were there
are there
a few before them or a lot before them?
A lot before them. I'm gonna go with B. I'm gonna go with B because everybody seems to be, except Jamie, you say A.
B is a few.
B is a few?
B is a few. C is a lot.
There was none, or there was a few, or there was a lot. I'm going to go with C then. Nobody said C. I'll take C. There we go. I'll take C.
You ready for the answer?
I'm going to be wrong.
Answer. There were a few reptiles on Earth before dinosaurs.
Oh.
Everyone who says B was right. Oh, why is my camera facing down? It's real.
You kicked it. In your excitement to
Do
tell you
dinos travel in groups? Yeah, A, yes. B, no. C, sometimes.
Sometimes. I'm going to say sometimes because some of them did travel in herds. I watched Jurassic Park. I know things. It's my favorite movie, by the way.
Mommy, you're going too fast.
This is all the same things as the other one. So I put a semicircle for under here. And I'm drawing a little arm, except the arms, guys, for raptors, put them down, and they're longer than a T-Rex. So you can almost draw the exact same arm size for your T-Rex, and you'll find something else. So sometimes, we have a sometimes. This guy looks like
Depends on the species, so I'll go with C. Sometimes.
Yeah, I agree with this statement. I agree with that. So I'm just doing, following the same rules as I did with the T-Rex. I'm adding a few other details like shoulder muscles you can add or not add. Like sometimes. The T-Rex, I would go like that.
Everybody has... Mommy, you said sometimes?
I said sometimes.
Answer is sometimes, yes. Because it, like Emily said, depends on the species.
Yeah.
Yeah, depends on the species. If I said more, then it would ruin one of my facts. But...
So raptors, which
when these herds moved,
yep,
the trampling of the ground sometimes left superhighways, like the one uncovered in China, 2001.
Oh, cool. Superhighway. Dinosaur superhighways. How cool is that? Superhighways. I think I'm going to change my tail slightly because I made it too high.
My tail goes all the way up above its head.
And if you're trying to do a dinosaur, if you ever want to do a dinosaur, I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt the trivia for a second. If you ever want to do more realistic dinosaurs, then remember that their tail is always counterbalancing the rest of their body. It's sort of like, imagine a scale that it balances their body. But because we're having fun and we're doing our own imaginations, they can do whatever kind of tail you want. They can go over their heads. They can have heart shapes. Sophia's got both of those things going on. You could even have a bow on your head if you want to do that. That is okay. Now raptors are
Did-
cool.
Did
Yeah.
T-Rexes and Triceratops and Raptors live in the same era?
Did T-Rexes and raptors live in the
And
same...
Triceratops.
and Triceratops live in the same era? So they all have their own... I forgot that I wasn't on this guy. Most dinosaurs had different Jurassic, Cretaceous. Well, that's fine. You don't have to do realism. What the important thing about learning art and doing art is to try and express yourself and your emotions and how you like to do. Sometimes push yourself out of your comfort zone to try realism once in a while if you want to. But right now, a lot of you guys are learning and getting into it, and I strongly encourage you to just keep doing what you're doing and practice it and have fun, because
Do you want me to ask the question again? Because I
Part
asked
of
the
it.
trivia question.
you did, I know. You asked if Triceratops,
Did-
T-Rex, and Raptors all lived in the same era or
Did
not.
T-Rexes, Triceratops, and Raptors live in the same era? A, yes. B, no. That's all the trivia I have, but I have some facts.
That's cool. So with this guy, I'm going to make his leg up because he's running.
My dudes, they're gonna go hugging.
And
That
raptors
is so
have a distinct claw on their feet for most species of raptors. Did you know there are over, 70 different species of raptors? We're probably all more familiar with Velociraptor from the Toronto Raptors mascot and from Jurassic Park.
There's actually over 700 species of different dinosaurs that have been discovered around the world.
Yes, so 700 species of different dinosaurs, but just the raptor has 70 different subspecies in its group. And most of them, as they've discovered recently, we have some bees, we have some falses. Most of them they've discovered had feathers on their head. And some of them even
There's
had
actually a certain type of
feathers just under their arms.
There's a certain type of raptor.
Yes. There's
With
a certain type of raptor. Oh, I
feathers.
just realized I put...
That most scientists agree has evolved into the modern birds we see today.
very cool. Is that a fact?
No.
Oh, I thought that was one of your facts. Sophia did a lot of dinosaur research. This is a fun topic to do. So, yes. So I'm going to put some feathers on mine and make it more like an Achioraptor, which is one of the last of the species of raptors. So we have a lot of bees and a lot of falses. Is bee false?
Yes, bees, no.
I actually know the answer to this one is A. It's true.
Answer, yes! T-Rexes, Triceratops, and Raptors lived in the late Cretaceous period together.
Yeah, between 68 and 65 million years ago. It was once thought, until I think it was 2014, that raptors actually lived 5 to 10 million years before T-Rex and Triceratops, because T-Rex and Triceratops did live together.
Then they discovered a raptor that had appeared to live into the same time as Triceratops.
It was in the same era, yes. Yep. So there is actually raptors that exist or existed in the time of, and the Achioraptor, Aeocho raptor, was one of the last raptors to live. So at the same time and in the same period. So that's kind of cool. There's my raptor. I'm going to put little spots to indicate some of the bumps on him, or where maybe feather quills might come from. So he might have more feathers in his body. So they're still finding dinosaur fossils that they're identifying even to this day that might fill out the picture a little bit more. It's kind of cool. All right, next. These guys are
Dino facts! Have dino facts.
You got some dino facts? Both these guys are what?
It's a fact.
That's why I'm pitching that.
T-Rexes and raptors ate meat, which means they're carnivores.
So maybe I don't want to put them in the same scene as my sweet, cute little Triceratops.
And Triceratops ate plants.
T-Rex.
As you know,
yeah.
dinos sometimes traveled in groups, but only the herbivores did.
Actually, Tyrannosaurus Rex sometimes hunted in groups. They didn't travel.
They hunted in groups, but they never the herbivore. But only the herbivores traveled in groups.
Okay, accurate. But the some of them, like raptors and T-Rexes, tend to hunt. You see what tops? Okay, so here we go. Are you ready for Triceratops? And I'm going to make Triceratops run with these guys, even though he's probably slow, because they're all friends right now. Nobody's eating anybody. Not in my picture.
Not in my picture.
Good. So we start off on a very familiar combination of shapes. We start with our circle. Well, size-wise, I'm not going to actually accurately make this to scale. This might be a baby Triceratops, because a Triceratops would be bigger than a raptor. Even the Velociraptor, who's not actually the biggest of, well, who is one of the biggest of the group, wouldn't be as big as this guy. And you make sort of like that reverse snowman, two snowball snowman.
He's walking with Wiz. This is my raptor.
Wiz is the raptor?
Wiz is the raptor. Jack is a T-Rex, and I don't know what my little Triceratops is going to be.
I like Sarah, the Triceratops, only because that's the name of the Triceratops in Land Before Time, which you haven't seen, but it's a good dino movie. So we start with that shape. And I probably could take this shape and I could make it, if my magic computer, a little bit more like that, because I got a little carried away. And then we put a little beak, what's called the beak, which is the nose, on the Triceratops, which is a quarter semicircle. Or quarter circle. Good gravy. Quarter circle.
Half a semicircle.
Half of a semicircle. A quarter circle.
A quarter of a semicircle would be an eighth of a circle.
Yeah, so you don't want to do an eighth of a circle, you want to do a quarter of a circle. Okay, and then you do the frill. You can do this one of two ways, and both of them start off the same. Do this, and do this. If you want to have a more elaborate frill, that's what that's called, the big bony structure in the back of the Triceratops, you can add bumps on it just like that, instead of making it one big semicircle, quarter circle shape.
He's gonna have he's gonna have Minecraft blocks on his back.
Minecraft blocks, that's kind of cool. And you can start erasing all of those lines where the head pieces would overlap, just like that. And you can add a little tail.
I don't have too much to erase.
This almost looks, I'm very sorry that this looks like she's being chased and going to be eaten. She's not. I promise. Could a Triceratops, one of the questions I discovered when I was researching the topic of dinosaurs, could a Triceratops take on a T-Rex and win? Yes. Apparently yes. Janie have a hi to Michael. You guys are starting to get to know each other. That's cool. Okay, so that's that piece. And then when you get that, we're going to do their legs. I might not have left myself enough room. You do?
Hold on, I'm doing my elaborate frill. Making a pattern.
If you're ready, you do a circle. If you're not, I will wait for you to catch up. Just like that. Making sure to not go over your frill. That's the back leg. And like other animals, it's got a leg that goes backwards a bit.
To a circle.
It's a circle.
I'm kind of making a cylinder.
Again, my Triceratops is almost like she's leaping, but that's okay. And you should leave the top part open.
I read a fact, but it's not on the paper. That is that
And then,
most carnivores stand on two legs and have hands that aren't as legs. And most herbivores walk on all fours.
I can think of an exception to the herbivore is the duckbill one, the duck one. Anyway, it has the big curvy thing, but they would bring their front forearms down and stand on them to drink water and rest. So it was sort of a weird, interesting hybrid.
The herbivores always walk on all fours.
Well, this one is a herbivore, and it walks on its hind legs, but when it's eating or when it's drinking, it uses all legs to stabilize, which I thought was cool. I can't remember.
My dude is a really tiny baby.
You get to, at the museum, there's one of their skulls that you can sort of pump air through to hear their sound that they make, which is really cool. I miss the museum. So this is my Triceratops. What do we need for a Triceratops? Anybody guess? Why are they called Triceratopses?
I have a guess.
What do their names actually mean? I'll give you a hint. That little spot right there. They're horns. Yeah, Triceratops is 3 horn. And there's different types of Triceratops with different frills and different...
Dinosaur means terrible lizard.
Dinosaur means terrible lizard in Greek. It's Greek for terrible lizard. So usually you would have the horns come out just above where you're going to put your eye. And when you're creating characters that have horns, because I know there's some people who love doing characters with horns, usually when you're doing a horn, you put a little bit of skin around the horn, because the horn comes through the skin, and then it has almost like a band-aid around it, and the skin, oops, it's almost too close in. Get to see all my boo-boo errors, but in this case, the skin sort of just is a little bit thicker than your horn, just to give it that dimension of it coming from the skin of your thing. So if you're ever doing characters with horns, that's a really good way to show the horn as part of it's sort of coming.
I didn't do a tail. I just realized I didn't do a tail.
You won't have a tail for you, dude? And again, most dinosaurs and dragon pictures and lizard pictures have, I'm going to put a little bit there, have eye ridges that are very prominent when they're doing them. So I'm going to put a semicircle just above where I'm going to put the eye. And she's going to be watching them coming along. And some pictures of Triceratops will show that their horn is actually, or not their horn, their beak is actually a bony protrusion out the front before the skin comes up on them. So it sort of goes like that.
My dude's a little baby.
And this little gal, poor guy, is going to have a little smile. And I'm going to make this one have her little mouth open. So I'm going to change that up just by adding a triangle in there. And she's got her mouth open. Now you can add things like bone ridges here, or if you want to do a particular type of Triceratops, there's one that have little horns sticking out. There. There's a species of Triceratops that looks like that. And I put little dots around to sort of indicate the bumps of their skin, kind of like an elephant or a rhinoceros skin. I'm kicking cameras over, or knocking cameras over. And then I sometimes put nails in. I know, it sounds weird, but that's what I like to do. And you can decide if you want to show a different underbelly. You can do that too. And there are a couple of dinos for our Draw With Me group.
I want to color in my dinos now.
I'm going to start coloring my dinos in. And what I might do, just to show
Have Gemma,
little...
Wiz, and Jack.
Gemma, Wiz, and...
Jack. Jack.
Jack. Cool. I'm going to do this one where she's bending her thing in. Here. So she's got her paw, or her front paw raised. She's about ready to jump in. I know, T-Rexes actually would eat Triceratops, but that's not what I'm trying to depict in my picture. Because we don't really know a lot about colors of dinosaurs, actual colors of dinosaurs. If you've ever colored a picture and left it out in the sun, depending on what you used, you'll notice the colors change or fade. So any skin patterns or fossilized stuff that we have of that is just sort of a guess or a faded guess of what we see. But we make guesses based off of their environment, what animals look like now, and some of their coloring and other stuff. So current animals, past animals. So whatever your imagination says your dinosaur should look like and the colors that they are, go for it. I'm thinking this guy has some cool red feathers on him. And this is, and maybe he's sort of got little red polka dots. Oh, actually, what I should do after I get his base color on, I think he's going to be mustardy colored. More like that.
Gemma's blue and green. Gemma the baby Triceratops.
Part of what I'm imagining my dinosaurs is they maybe lived in, like the raptor maybe lived in sort of low-lying grass and stuff, and had flowers or something, red flowers or markings, so he's got that on him, so he could blend in with his environment. But you could imagine that these are cotton candy dinosaurs, or they're... We had ice cream octopus 2 weeks ago, right? You had an ice cream octopus.
And I had
We had a volcano shark right at the beginning.
Yeah, and we had an ice cream narwhal from you.
Ice cream narwhal. So let your imagination go crazy when you're drawing this if you want. It's up to you. Or you can just be like me, I'm being a little more conservative.
Gemma lives by a lake.
Gemma lives by a lake. Does it mean she's got some lake colors?
She's blue.
Oh, she's blue.
It's the little baby blue.
I'm just going to put a few little red dots here and there. Ooh, those are pretty big red dots. Let's be lighter on my touch.
Wiz is pink. She lives in a cotton candy field.
She lives in a cotton candy field. That's cool. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. If you're taking off right now, if you finished your stuff, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thanks for joining us. We're still going. We're still going to color for anybody else around that wants to hang out and just color with us for a little while longer.
Looks
like we might have some rain coming in a second.
Should I use mauve or dusty rose?
Mauve or dusty rose? What should Sophia use, do you think? Mauve or dusty rose? I'm going to vote for dusty rose. That to me is much more cotton candy. Dusty rose. I actually think I've got a color up there called bubblegum.
Yeah.
Bubblegum.
So it's going to be his body.
And for anybody joining in late or watching this later and want to catch up, I've got all of the videos up on my YouTube page, so you can check them out anytime. My YouTube page is Sam Ian Art. And
Dusty Rose.
Dusty Rose. We got to vote for Dusty Rose. 2 Dusty Roses.
And then it's like Michael had to go.
Yeah, Michael had to go.
So that would never ever put in?
That's everybody.
So then it's Dusty Rose. Thanks,
Dusty
guys.
Rose it is.
For helping me out.
Thank you. I helped her out. Yeah. Well, it means you guys can decide what you want to do for 2 weeks from now, if you've got any ideas. Oh, actually, I know what we're going to do, because it was suggested, Griffin. So as a cool fantasy creature, which can also be connected to drawing lions. And some birds. So that could be kind of a
I
fun
know
one.
what we could do. We could do cats. We could do
Cats. We haven't done kitty cats, so we could do big cats, little cats. That could be a fun one. What do you guys think of that?
I love it.
Sophia loves it. She loves cats.
Do you want a little drawing buddy? Color in?
Can you give it one of the characters, one of your little stuffy characters?
Hmm.
Cool.
I think Bamboo Leaf wants to come cuddle.
Oh.
Help draw.
Oh, like this. I've got this friend who's going to help me draw. Come on over, Bamboo Leaf.
No.
Well, then what I will do is prepare to do cats. And there will be big cats and little cats. And because we're doing cats that are part of how a griffin is drawn, I will add how to do griffins too. Because again, most of these, anytime you're probably seeing a lot of repetition of what we're doing in our drawings and how it can help change the shape, or maybe it even helps you when you're looking at objects around you and I'm seeing the shapes and what you want to do. So Canada themed, cool. Transportation, air transportation, cool. Those are some cool ideas. Trees. These are all very good ideas.
Wait, guys are coming out.
Actually, I'm known for doing trees in some of my, a lot of my paintings, like my spirit trees, which I imagine are people and how their ideas or whatever grow from them into a tree. So I've done a couple of those. Not that I'll teach you necessarily how to do that, but I do love trees. All that to say, I love trees. I'm going to make this guy have some green on his back. Maybe he has a more of a deserty kind of thing with little patches.
Yeah. Jack is a desert dino. Jack is a desert T-Rex.
And big white teeth. Why not? This dino brushes his teeth. Backgrounds. Okay. Well, we can tie that to some trees. Backgrounds, you can kind of do a lot of, and see, I don't even have a background in my thing yet. There's a lot of perspective work, so that's something I could definitely do a little mini or side lesson on too. And I'm going to put a few of those up. When I get some time to work on them. I'm going to make this just as on perspective and things. But if you're working in backgrounds, one of the key things like learning drawing shapes or drawing animals or drawing creatures is to think of the shapes that are around you and think of, you know, start with the squares and the triangles and trapezoids, which are important when you're morphing regular shapes like squares. So a square becomes a trapezoid and it gives you a perspective of something that's square. But it's about looking around. It's about practicing drawing things like a book, which doesn't really seem all that interesting. Then you can make a library out of it, with many books. I'll show you what I'm going to do just to give hints of a background in this one. Once I get Sarah drawn, what will Sarah be like? Maybe she is more like the desert, like she's the one. Oh no, she'd want plants. She'd want to eat plants. So I'm going to make her a minty color. Pistachio color. This looks more like pistachio. Nom, nom, nom. I love pistachio.
Maybe she eats pistachio plants.
Maybe she eats pistachio plants. I would love that. This is my pistachio colored dino. I'm trying to keep things all within browns and greens with a little hint of red. And for my older artists, that color choice, probably all my artists, that kind of color choice can help tell the story too. I like to start with using some of my favorite colors, but if you're picking your colors to tell a story, and you want the eye, because we're attracted to bright colors, and we're attracted to differences in the color palettes. That's one way you can force whoever's looking at your picture to look at certain places. So, whoop, I see red, so your eye will go, oh, there's the red. And oh, that green doesn't quite go with all that brown that's on there. And I'll think of something similar, but not so different that it stands out weird on the Triceratops. So those are just little color tricks you can use too to make somebody look at your picture and look around your picture just by using color. But always, 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 when you're, especially right now, when you're playing around and you're learning and you're having fun with it, pick what makes you happy. Pick the colors that make you happy. Because even me doing this, this is my job, I always try to do at least one thing in my drawing day that makes me smile and makes me happy. I'm going to pick an orange because it's close enough in color to T-Rex and his skin color, but not anything else that she's got on there. So that's going to be my standout color on her.
Gemma has pink horns.
Cool.
Because she has pink flowers by the lake.
Pink flowers by the lake. That's a good thinking and a good way to tell your story.
And she has stone. She looks like she has stone and grass on her, so she can duck her head down, and it looks like she's a baby elk.
So Emily, for your question on backgrounds, I'm going to give you a little tip. And this is a tip for Janie too, if you want to know. When you're doing a background, always choose colors that are duller or bluer, cooler, not necessarily blue per se, but cooler or duller or lighter, and not as vibrant as the colors that you have in the foreground for your characters. And that way your characters will always stand out and the background will look like it's pushing back. It's a visual trick on a two-dimensional picture. But I'm I know I like to use a lot of bright colors, and a couple of my pictures I've done with backgrounds in them and things happening in the backgrounds, I've chosen really bright colors. But one way to do it, or one really simple trick to do it, is to pick lighter colors and not to make them as dark or not dark, but heavy.
I'm shading my sunshine.
So like if I did a color in the background similar to this guy, it's going to look like it's all almost overlapping this guy. So I would pick something that was just a little bit lighter, like maybe this would be part of the sand in the background. I'd probably go even lighter. I could even go lighter. Let me see. Yeah, I'd probably pick something like that further in the background. So I've picked it out. I'm going to erase that and I'm going to start making some dunes with some grass. So they're having some fun. They're just traveling. They're doing their thing.
She's on this.
Oh, I'm humming erasers. That's what's happening. I'm like, where's my dunes? What's happening?
They're all going to be coming out with something that makes you know that they're helping.
There's some sand that they're running around past.
There's always something in my picture that makes you know where they come from.
That's a good tactic to use, Emily, is to take and blur some of the colors together. That's kind of what our eyeballs do normally when we're focusing on something in a foreground, is blur out what's in the back. So that's actually a really good way to trick the eye into thinking there's something in the background as well. I mean, I'm kind of doing everything digitally, but if I had a marker, here I would be doing that more or less the same process. And now that they're here, I'm going to foreground a bit.
Mommy?
Putting the sand in the dirt here. So I've changed color. I made it a little darker to indicate that they're just that much closer. And you put more details too. Sort of like what your idea with the blurring things. If something's closer to your main image, like my dinosaurs, it would have more detail. If something's in the background, you might not put like the stems or of a leaf. You might just sort of make the shape of the leaf. That would be a way to do it. What do you got going, Sophie? You wanted to show me something. Look at the sunshine.
I have it. There's always something that makes you know where the dinos come from.
That is pretty cool. That is a good way to do it. Too, for your story, right? You want to give everybody the idea of where these guys come from. I'll just go one more. If I had my markers, I'd probably start doing what's called blending. So I get, oops. That's in there. And you can sort of add little shadows and stuff. And sky. Again, I might choose something very light. If you're thinking of gradients for the sky, no, I don't want to. Thank you. Thank you, Photoshop. But no, thank you. Whoops, I forgot that that's all on the same layer. But the best teacher of all when you're doing art on your own and you want to expand what you're already doing is to just practice and to just observe. And hopefully you guys are liking sort of some of the cool shapes and creatures we're doing, and it's helping helping you think different shapes and outside the box and figuring some cool things out. I'm going to put little creepy clouds in the background of this. Now in a foot race, T-Rex would probably win, as far as speed is concerned. Gotta put some leaves or that looks like these guys won't have anything, well, she won't have anything to eat. I think I might kind of come back in here and lighten up some of these. Plants. Give them just a little. And if I were to do something on the horizon that looked like trees, I might pick one of these bluey sort of colors. It almost looks too much like the dino's tail. Maybe I won't bother doing that. Maybe I'll just leave it like that. And there is my racing dinos with their shadows. You can put over top. And yet again, I'm having a few issues with my Photoshop today with sort of adding lines where I don't expect it, but that's okay. I think that is how I'm done. How close are you to done, Sophia?
I'm just finishing up. Then I added my last kind of red sandy part of it.
Okay. Well, there's my dude.
Next place.
I love my little Triceratops. I love Triceratops. And I'm going to save it. Oh no, I don't have to. I'm going to label it. I'm going to label something up here though. Dinos. And it's not in the dad's. It's going to be in our new dino folder. That's right. I organize things. Or try to. Alright. So next week, again, we're going to take a break for a week to celebrate Canada Day. And then we'll come back on the 8th. Am I doing that right? 8th. With a couple of those ideas that you put in there.
With
Sophia's showing off her stuff.
Gemma.
Oh, I love them.
Sunshine. The cotton candy tree. Desert.
Oh,
and the water.
That's really cool. Thank you, Sophia, for sharing. And don't forget, if you want to share your pictures, you can send them either through Messenger to me, or you can always use, if it's a public post, use the hashtag #DrawWithMe, SamIan, or DrawWithSamIan, and I'll try and find it. Or you can put it in the comments when you see either these comments, or if you see the album, and you can put it up there to share with us. So can't wait to see you guys in 2 weeks, and I'll let you know what the topic is shortly. And this will be up on YouTube, and it's always on our Facebook page if you ever want to go back and redo a lesson again. So thanks again for joining us. Where's Sophia? Where's Sophia? Woo, sorry. Oh, and Wulan, hello.
Wulan.
So thanks guys for joining us.
Bring
We'll see you
Bamboo
next
Leaf into
week.
the camera.
And for all of my
Bring
Canadian...
Bamboo Leaf into the camera.
Oh goodness, sorry Bamboo Leaf.
She was drawing too.
She was drawing too. I'm sorry I forgot you, Bamboo Leaf. So we'll see you guys. Have a happy Canada Day. And for all my Canadian friends celebrating, and for all my American friends celebrating shortly after, happy Independence Day on the 4th. And we'll see you guys on the 8th. Same time, same place. Bye!
Bye. Have a happy summer.